Hi everybody, welcome back to the Ben Taylor podcast, the home of marine industry insights. We're here at IBEX. We're in the IBEX studio in Tampa, Florida, and we're going to hear from Jelte from Savvy Navvy all about what he's up to, what the technology's doing, and also, I suppose, some wider trends happening in boating that's particularly important, you're involved in. Should be really cool. So
Awesome.
Welcome to the podcast, Jelte.
Thank you for having me.
So let's have context first.
Okay.
Who are you? What do you do? What's Savvy Navvy about?
So my name is Jelte Liebrand. I am the founder of Savvy Navvy, and Savvy Navvy can be best seen or described as the Google Maps for boats.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to get from A to B on the water, just like you do on Google on land, we help you get there by making sure that everything you need is handled in one go. In Google Maps, you click on one thing, it will give you the route to that destination, but it will also tell you what the traffic is doing, where the speed cameras are, everything of that nature. At sea, that's a little bit more difficult, and so we're there to try and make that easier and make it easier for new boaters or existing boaters alike to get from A to B.
Yeah, and this is massively popular. I mean, I first came across it as a consumer rather than as people in the industry, which is quite good.
Yeah.
And I met my partner Emma, she was like, "Oh, you know Savvy Navvy?" I was like, "Yeah, I know Savvy Navvy." She's like, "Oh, I use them all the time." It was really
amazing,
cool, yeah.
great.
So, can you give us an idea of the adoption levels that you're at and the user base, things like that?
Sure. Yeah, so we've been around since 2017 is actually when we started. Mostly initially US and UK. We've since branched out all of North America, all of Europe, Scandinavia, Australia, New Zealand. Have more than 3 million app downloads at the moment. So yeah, we walk around shows like this, and the other day we're at lunch somewhere and people behind us see the shirt and go, "Savvy Navvy, we love you." No, it's been going really good. And it's really because I think people want that ease of use, right? If you get to a boat and it's all confusing and difficult and I don't know what I'm doing, for a novice, that's almost the same as me getting into the cockpit of a plane, right?
Yeah.
There's all these buttons and everything else going on. Whereas all I want to do is I want to just get to that restaurant over there with the pontoon. And so making that easier is exactly why I think people like it and tell other people, and then word of mouth happens. So it's been good.
Yeah, and you're touching on it already, but this boating attrition, this kind of entry to boating, this is quite an important factor of it. It's kind of the intimidation and the anxiety, I suppose, around someone who's not used to a boat or navigating that region. It can put them off completely.
It could. I think, here at IBEX, we've heard a lot of talk about boating attrition.
Yeah.
I think there's actually probably two elements to it, right? There's the attrition, so people that are in boating but are leaving boating, potentially because they just got to it and it's too complicated or whatever, and not getting new boaters into boating, right? That's the other kind of the flip side of that same coin. And so it's been talked about a lot. Obviously, a lot of studies being done. Discover Boating has just brought out some insights that are fascinating on this. And it's not an easy topic, right? There is a number of different reasons why this is a problem. One is affordability. I mean, it's not necessarily cheap, and there's certain things that are being done about that. There's regulation issues, there's all sorts of things. But I think one thing that has stood out and possibly surprised a few people from the Insight Report is that it's not just affordability, right? There's other things, and there's predominantly intimidating factors. Like I said, if I get into boating, you and I, we've been boating, we understand boating, most people around here do. Yeah. But if you're new to boating, it can be very intimidating. Everything is different. Everything has a different name. Everything is done differently.
There are way too many different names.
Everything is
for
different,
fairly
right?
normal objects.
Yes, and if you get it wrong, then you kind of like people look at you, go, "Oh, you got it the wrong way."
Yeah, and it puts up this kind of barrier, a bit like, "Oh, you don't seem like a sailor yet. You don't seem like a boater." So
you don't know what you're doing.
Well, you're an outsider. Then you're a guest. You're a visitor. It's
100%. And so I think that's actually part of the values and the missions that we have is to break down those barriers. It's got to be easier for people to get into boating and like it because it is amazing, right? We all know it. Once you're out there on the water, it is amazing. If you're going on the water and you're scared of it, that's a very different experience. Yeah. And so if you are new to boating, you're taking your family into the water and you don't quite feel confident, that's probably why you're going to be leaving, right? And so anything we can do to make that easier, to make it safer as well. I'm not saying take Savvy Navvy and you don't need to learn anything. No, of course, you need to understand what you're doing. You need to get your certification and everything else.
It's a tool. It's encouragement. It's
Exactly.
Here's some really useful information.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna calm your mind down and
Calm your mind
help
down.
you enjoy boating.
Exactly. And
That's
it's
it.
not just about the map, right? It's about everything. It's about the conditions. It's about what the weather's going to be doing. It's about what the tide is doing. If I'm going to plan to go out on a Saturday, but actually it's going to be really choppy, my wife's going to get seasick. It's not going to be a pleasant experience. If we waited for Sunday, and Sunday might be better, we would have had a nicer time, right? So anything we can do to make that time on the water better increases the chances that you're going to go on the water more often.
Yeah.
And that's better for everyone in the industry.
And so as a tech platform, as a tech product, how do you kind of research and develop features to match those wants and those needs?
First and foremost, talk to the customer, right? And really understand what their pain points are, because I think everybody has a good understanding of the big ones. There's a lot of stuff here about auto docking, for example. Docking a boat is scary. Everybody knows that. But I think there's nuances and there's smaller things that you really have to dig deep and ask the customer and see what they do. So we spend a lot of time doing customer interviews and customer journeys and getting people on the phone and even meeting them on their boat and saying, how do you do this? What is it that you do? And so for us, it started a lot with the app, right? Getting people onto the app, getting people planning, getting people somewhere else. We're now doing additional things with actual boat manufacturers so that the whole journey from couch to boat, while I'm at home, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm planning, to when I get to my boat, that entire journey needs to be seamless. It needs to be the same as what you have in automotive. And right now it's not quite that.
Right, okay. And how exactly do you engage with the OEMs to do that? What's happening there? Because I'm sure you call that a partnership or something like that. It's a little broad. What?
So we
give us some detail.
Correct. Yes, we do call it partnerships. So David heads up our partnerships. But you're right. It's far more complex than that. We have a product called Savvy Integrated, which takes our Savvy Navvy into whatever system that the boat manufacturer has.
Right, and that's important. Not just an MFD, not just display. It's effectively any other equipment. It's quite open.
It's very open and it's very specific and bespoke to what the boat manufacturer needs. Because some of them will want, if you're building a wake boat, that's very different from, a sailboat or a power boat or even a jet ski or whatever. Any vessel that goes out will have a different use case. And the experience that the manufacturer wants to build should be theirs because it should just fit in with the entire vessel. And so instead of us saying, well, here's an app, good luck, we work with them very closely to say, okay, well, what parts of what we have many different solutions, which ones will help improve the experience that you're trying to build. And so we work closely with them. It's a bespoke service. We do it. We've announced a few here on this week. The Arc boat, Advocate systems that are out there at the moment, and a handful of others, whereby we help them deliver the experience that they want so that the boater gets the experience they expect.
Right, and I suppose we're targeting this, it just works.
That's exactly
That's the dream, right? Turn on the boat, it's all there.
It's
beautiful.
all there.
No updates, no kind of, my phone's not connecting properly, all this kind of thing.
I don't have to sync it. I don't have to have an SD card and find a slot in the back of some machine.
I always find that insane.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
I don't know if this still happens, but I remember literally a couple of years ago, it was major map update, and you'd buy an area with the updated maps
on a little card.
You'd have an SD card, and then you'd go on your boat and plug it into your MFD and be like, oh, it's updated.
In some cases, you spend some time trying to figure out where you have to plug it in. In my case, I have to take the whole boat apart to try and get to the back of it. It's crazy. To be fair, there are obviously now systems out there that are connected and they're doing a better job of that because we are all trying to make that experience better. I think there's still so much more room for improvement. And I think it's kind of odd because we all do this in a car. When I go somewhere, I'll use Google Maps. By the time I get in my car, the car starts playing shitty Dutch music because I'm Dutch, and it has the route to where I need to go. And it's just there, right? I didn't do anything for it. I clicked two buttons and it goes.
Yeah, but that sets the standard.
It does, and it should.
A boater who's
100%.
probably going to have a pretty high-end car as well, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what they're used to. That's what their comfort zone is. Why on earth, when they jump on their boat, which they probably spent more money on
in most cases,
then
all of a sudden it doesn't work.
Then suddenly it's 2010 technology.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a 2010 experience. I think that's, again, I come back to that experience, right?
We just coined that. Is that not going to be the thing? We're
that's
going
it.
to hear that.
I'm going to talk to the
That's so
marketing team and put it
2010
somewhere. No, but it is, because it is, as you say, it is what you expect. It's what you expect to see when you get to your boat. And it's 100% possible. We've proven it. It's out there right now. And so that really provides that whole journey from the moment that I start planning, what am I going to do this weekend? Where am I going to go? Is it this restaurant? Is it this little anchorage? Am I going to stay the night? Am I not? To the fact that once I get to the boat, it just works. So yeah, that's what we've been up to for the last few months now.
Yeah. This might get a little nerdy,
Okay, go.
but it's going to be good. You ready?
I like nerdy.
Data.
Data.
All right.
Oh yeah. We have a lot of data.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And so I'm interested in the ways you're using that data. So we've touched on the integration with MFDs and different systems on board the boat.
Yeah.
Can you go into detail about this whole overlaying situation where you've got all these, effectively all this different information, which traditionally is isolated in their own devices?
Yeah.
And it's now effectively being centralized in one
Centralized in one
easy-to-use
place, yeah.
intuitive display. Yeah.
So I think there's probably two big areas to talk about when you talk about data. Number one is the data that you as the boater want and need to be able to do what you're doing. And so we're talking not just the maps, we're talking about tidal streams, we're talking about weather, we're talking about sea state, rain, cloud cover, visibility, all of this stuff that you really should be paying attention to. The fact that that is scattered across different devices and services and over the radio, whatever, means you have to do this in your head. That's ridiculous. So number one, getting all that data into one place is what we do, and it allows you with a tap of a button to immediately see what is my Saturday going to look like. So that's number one. Once you have it all in one place, you can then become smart. You become savvy, right?
Hey.
And so when I want to go from A to B, the actual routing can take all of this into consideration and say, okay, well, we know it's 20 miles, but actually the tide is going to push you back. It's going to cost you a wee bit more fuel to get there. Or it's going to be heavy weather over here, and here's a place to go take shelter as a backup plan. So it allows the whole platform itself to become smart and give you the safest and best route to get from A to B. The second part of data is once people start doing that, we obviously have that data. We know where they've been. We know where they were plotting. We know where they were planning. And again, coming back to this couch to boat, there's a very different element to where do people boat versus where did they want to boat. Right? We all talk about, boaters take out their boat X times a year or whatever it is. Okay, but how many times did they try to take it out? How many times were they planning to go out on Saturday, but they didn't go? And that's the type of insight that we have because we have that entire journey that allows us to say, that's interesting. There's a little pattern here of people that keep doing this thing, but they then don't end up going boating. Why is that? What is missing? What can we provide to them so they do go out at the right time? So yeah, we're quite data rich, shall we say.
And with technology companies, I feel like you can hit this critical mass or this kind of point where the value just absolutely skyrockets because you've got more value per user, and then you've got a whole lot of users.
Yeah.
And for each new user, as soon as they subscribe and start engaging with you guys, then actually they inherit all this previous value from all the other users. And so how does it work in terms of sharing user data? Not kind of, look, Ben likes to cruise in this area, go and say hello to him. You might get a free beer on his boat.
That reminds me, I need to look up where you go.
No. But rather, other people have navigated this area. This is their experience.
Exactly. Yeah, to be clear, I can't look up where you go because it is data privacy. It is anonymized,
of course,
but we can aggregate it, right? And so indeed, we can see certain places within popular boating areas where people go and hang out. We can't not just where they go and hang out, but also for how long. How long do they dwell? What is a usual use case? Do you go there for an hour and meet up with your friends for a few drinks, or do you stay there longer? Or do you actually do something different? That type of data is really powerful for local government and water planning facilities, etc. We're looking at where do I put the next marina? There's a black hole around Albania, where historically speaking, there is not that much marina life. But actually, if you did put a marina right here, look at all this traffic that comes past.
The boat
right?
traffic, yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of data that can help local planning, that can actually provide, again, a boost to the industry. And there's a lot of that stuff also that can help us for our own users and say, okay, well, actually, here's clearly a nice little route. Here's an interesting spot for you to go and explore. We do a lot of customer interviews, and one of the things that actually surprised me a bit is that for a lot of people who have their own boat, they still say the main reason they go out is to explore new places, even though they know the area.
Is it really to explore new places, or is it they go with that intention and then they go, yeah, but we went there last week or a couple of months ago. It was really nice, so let's go back there.
I think there's an element of both. I think fundamentally,
you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, well, we can see, but it's also, maybe their intent is to go find something new, but how would they find something new? Right? Because the pilot book that was written in the 70s say, here's a few coves to go to. I've seen the coves.
Yeah, and nobody wants to.
But actually, there's so many other places that other people find out. So actually surfacing that to other people and providing, similar in the US. The US has thousands and thousands of lakes, and every month we're adding even more.
Yeah.
It's not just the lake data, it's also what do I do on that lake? Where do I go? Where is a nice place that is just open up a restaurant with a
data
pontoon?
As well as, this is the
100%.
region, this is the navigational data.
100%.
It's combining them both. That's where it gets really powerful.
I want to be able to see where I want to go and go give it an attempt. And the reviews might be pretty crappy, and therefore actually I'm not going to go to that place, I'm going to go to that place.
Yeah.
All of that plays a part in me enjoying getting out on the water.
Yeah.
If all I did was take my vessel on a trailer and I dump it into the lake and then go, right, I'm in the lake, now what? I'm not going to enjoy it, right? And everything that we do, everything that everybody here should be focused on is making sure that people enjoy their time on the water.
Yeah.
That's how more people get on it. That's how fewer people leave. And that's all good for us.
Yeah, it's retention of them, it's acquisition of new ones. That grows the industry. That's
100%,
the way.
100%, yes.
And so what's the plan for the next few years, or kind of the upcoming times? You're here at IBEX. Is there any big focuses during this show or the next couple of months?
For IBEX, 100%, we are talking to the people that I just mentioned that we are integrating with to really provide that full spectrum of a seamless integration. We're talking a little bit further down the line. I want to be to the position where if you go to any boat show or boat marina or boater and say, what do you use? Savvy Navvy, of course. That should be the answer, because that tells me that they are enjoying what they're doing when they get on the water. So for us, it's boat shows. For us, it's going and meeting boaters. For us, it's going to events. And again, listening to what they want. The one biggest lesson that I think we've learned over the last few years is that a boater is not a boater is not a boater. Each boater is different. And the easy ones are obvious. An angler is different than a sailboat and is different than a jet ski, whatever. But even within those groups, there are people who are doing different things with their boats. There's people who go out with their family and they want one particular thing from it. There's people that go out on a Thursday night for racing around the cans. It's a very different experience. And so truly understanding what that behavior is so that we can improve that and so that we can help people do more of it is really what the next few years is all about.
Love it. Jelte, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Everybody, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you're following here to see plenty more of it. All being well, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.